Iga Swiatek welcomes Wim Fissette to her coaching staff, and Thomas Wiktorowski is out, ladies and gentlemen. Iga Swiatek recently stated what I've been saying for years. This is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm Good Energy. Welcome to Tennis in a Minute. Before we go any further, go vote in the community. Good decision or not? What do you guys think? This is going to be a juicy video. Let's get into it. I'm Good Energy. Before we go any further, like the video, show some love. Listen, guys. Thomas Wiktorowski, he has helped Iga Swiatek to 19 of her 22 titles, 4 of her 5 Grand Slams. That amazing 90% win percentage on clay, passing Serena Williams the last couple years. Yes, he is part responsible for that. That amazing game plan of just fast, grueling, aggressive tennis, short, aggressive winners, coming cross court, down the line, front, back, side to side like a new TikTok dance move or something. Iga Swiatek has just been better than everyone else on tour. Now, we haven't seen her play since destroying Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, and she would head into the next round and lose to Jessica Pegula. Now, after taking an absence, that's right, she's dealing with stuff in her personal life. There's stuff going on in Poland. She mentioned that she wanted to coach outside of Poland. Iga Swiatek stated in the past that when she travels outside of Poland, no one recognizes her. Well, arguably the best coach on tour, Wim Fissette, the best available coach, is now a part of her coaching staff. Recently parting ways with Naomi Osaka as she hires Patrick, in my opinion, the best coach out there. Helped Serena Williams win 10 Grand Slam championships. But listen, guys, will this be a great pairing? Because it's all about chemistry. That's right, guys. Now, personally, I've said in the past, a great coach will help develop his player, but also take into account the things that they do well and help improve that. Iga Swiatek's a short rally winner. I've stated this. I've broken down the game plan and how to defeat Iga Swiatek. She's going to hit that winner in 7 shots or less, preferably 5 shots or less. When you extend her past 9-shot rallies, she normally loses those points. Now, Wim is a technical coach. All of the players he's coached in the past, he's helped improve their careers right away. Will this be the same? Personally, I felt Thomas deserved at least one more WTA Finals championship appearance with Iga Swiatek. Announced the decision in the offseason. What do you guys think? Comment below. Was this a classy way to do it? Was this respectful? Listen, they have contracts for this reasons, right? I'm sure there was a clause in there. I'm sure he got paid. But was this respectful? Iga Swiatek coming out of the 21 season, that WTA championship in Mexico, she was the worst player there. I'm on record stating it. Yes. And Polish fans, we all know Poland was the biggest market for this channel. You guys used to love me. What happened? Well, what happened was I started calling it how I see it. I say it all the time. I'm not here for money, likes, or views. I don't care if I get 1 view or 1,000 views. I don't care. I do this for the love of the sport. When I started calling it how I saw it, Iga Swiatek holding up her racket, doing different things, breaking rules, the Polish fans started to say, you know what, Good Energy, we don't like you so much because you're telling the truth. And the reality here is I've stated Iga Swiatek is so good. She's been better than everyone else on tour. She doesn't need to do those things. But the reason she was holding up her racket, buying time, she's fatigued. Trying to get a little bit of that stamina back because she plays so aggressive and fast. That will tire you out. And I've said I've been concerned about Iga Swiatek because, look, I'm on record stating this. Once these female professional amazing athletes hit over 30 years old, they don't make it to Grand Slam finals. So Iga Swiatek stating, look, this is a marathon, not a sprint, making the change to go with Wim Fissette. What do I think? I think she wants to start focusing on longer rallies, playing tennis, conserving stamina, as she knows, and I've stated this, as her athletic ability, as she starts to age, that style of tennis is not going to work. It's just not going to work, right? So I think the move here is a very strategic move. Wim Fissette, if you're not familiar with him, and look at Iga Swiatek, how she had Anastasia just moving front, back, side to side, out of breath, like a new TikTok dance move or something, all over the place. Now, Wim Fissette, ladies and gentlemen, very accomplished coach. I don't think there's any coach in the history of female tennis, in the history of the WTA, that has come aboard with so many different players and have improved their game right away. Wim Fissette is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. But can he help Iga Swiatek get more slams? Now, we talked about recently, the queen of hard court tennis right now is Sabalenka, right? The Australian Open champion, the U.S. Open champion. And behind her, 1A, 1B, is Coco. Coco has literally the most WTA Master 1000 wins in the Open era, 70 at the age of 20. That's a lot of wins at these hard court events. But now Iga Swiatek has a U.S. Open title. We know that. She has a ton of hard court championships. So when it comes to these Masters lately, well, let's say in particular the Slams, the Australian Open, she hasn't done well there. We all know she's the clay queen, right? Nearly, 90% win percentage on clay the last couple seasons. She passed Serena Williams, all-time win percentage. She's amazing. But does she want to go out like Rafa? Right? Being known as the queen of clay? Or does she want to win a few more hard court slam championships? Now, after a disappointing summer in France, everyone expected her to win gold. Was that part of the decision to get rid of Thomas? I think so as well. Now, I've seen them practice together several times. Thomas is very strict. He's a militant type of guy. Now, I think bringing on someone like Wim, I think it could possibly help her spirits. I mean, when these two would talk during matches when things weren't going well, the exchanges were very heated. Wim is just not that type of coach. He's very cool. He's calm. He seems very organized. And let's get you familiar with some of the players he's helped to some of these amazing careers. How about Angelique Kerber? One of her few 50-plus win seasons came under Wim in an SW19 championship, one of her 3 Grand Slam titles under Wim Fissette, right? Also a U.S. Open, Australian Open championship. Angelique Kerber recently retired. Some of her best work under Wim Fissette. How about Osaka, ladies and gentlemen? Right, we saw him come aboard from 20 to 22. She would win the Australian Open Championship and the U.S. Open Championship. Her highest win percentage as a professional came under Wim, 70-plus win percentage, right? 70-plus win percentage. Now she's at about 55, 60% win percentage. That's a huge decline from 70%, ladies and gentlemen. Wim had a huge part to play in that, and I say it all the time, Osaka, the most technical ball striker on tour, forehand, backhand, serve, textbook. If you take a look in the dictionary on how to serve, textbook. Her form, her ball toss, ladies and gentlemen. She averaged about 8 aces per match under Wim. Amazing server. She doesn't get the credit she deserves. How about Petra Kvitova, ladies and gentlemen? That's right, Petra, Hall of Famer. Wim coached her in 2016, Elite Trophy champion. She won Wuhan. Amazing player. Again, some of her best work in terms of win percentage. But I do think David Katja, I think he probably had a bigger influence on her career. Look at the work he's doing with Linda Noskova now. That low left ball, that trajectory, very tough to return. I think David's he played probably the biggest role in Petra's career, 2 slams. But the work Wim did with her, amazing. What about Simona Halep, right? We all know he begged she went to France and begged Patrick at his facility to coach her. But look at the work Wim did with Simona Halep, right? Again, more amazing tennis. 36 and 18, 2 championships. Amazing win percentage. I mean, overall, I'm sorry, did I say 36? 49 and 18 under Wim Fissette. 2 titles, right? Very technical. Sabine Lisicki. Now, Sabine was 36 and 18 under Fissette. Fissette culture in 2013, fastest serve on record, one of her best win percentages as a professional player. How about Kim Cluster, ladies and gentlemen? 2 U.S. Open championships, 4 master titles, 53-10. Amazing win percentage under Wim Fissette. What about Queen, ladies and gentlemen? Her 2 best seasons, 39 wins in 22, 42 wins this year, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. She won Zhangzhou after the departure with Wim Fissette. Ribas was on board, but Palermo. Now listen, guys, we've seen the growth from Queen. She said when Osaka took her coach, she wanted to kill people. She was mad at the world. But listen, that's what contracts are for. You know, he has the right to depart as well as she has the right to terminate him. But the reality is, if you look at the growth in her ball striking, especially that forehand and serve, Wim Fissette, largely to play in that. What about Johanna Konta, ladies and gentlemen? For those that have been following my channel for a long time, I've said it time and time again, Johanna Konta is a tennis player, ladies and gentlemen. Very technical, a tennis player. Listen, she won 3 of her 4 titles under Wim Fissette. That's right. Miami, the biggest title of her career. Sydney. She also won San Jose, right? Some master titles in there. 3 of her 4 titles under Wim Fissette. 2 of her 5 most winningest seasons under Wim Fissette, 2016, 2017. Johanna Konta's like 33, 34. She could still come back and give these young chicks a run for the money. What about Sarah Irani, ladies and gentlemen? Wim helped her win her biggest hardcourt championship as a singles player. She's a doubles Hall of Famer. What her and Jasmine doing is amazing, but she won Dubai under Wim Fissette. What about Vika, ladies and gentlemen? That's right. One of only a few players to win the Sunshine Double, ladies and gentlemen. And you all know my joke with Iga Swiatek. Iga make the Sunshine Double look like a routine day at the beach. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing work with Vika under Wim Fissette. 35-15 that year. She won the Indian Wells 2015. Wim Fissette could literally go from player to player and help them win master championships. Now, Iga Swiatek, what is next? What does the future hold with Wim Fissette? Listen, he's going to have to develop her into a long rally player. What does that mean? Well, that means he's going to have to change her pattern play. Right now, Iga has pattern play. She's playing chess. She's looking to set you up in a few shots and win all out winners, aggressive down the line. She comes cross body better than I think most players. I think her serve placement is great, but overall, guys, I think there's going to have to be a change in her footwork, right? The way she plays now, it's very aggressive. And I had someone, we had a conversation a few months ago, and someone said that Iga Swiatek is not an aggressive player. It was actually an announcer, another tennis channel. I'm like, are you kidding me? Iga Swiatek is not aggressive. She literally overpowers players inside the baseline. She's worked on her deep ball to compete with players like, you know, Sabalenka, even though she owns the head-to-head against Sabalenka, she's done well against Iga Swiatek, especially when it comes to hard. But players much more like Elena Rybakina, who just has that deep extending ball off the baseline that bounces about 6 to 7 feet, backs you up to where you're not a threat. We've seen her work on the deep ball, but I think with Wim Fissette, she's going to have to change her footwork. Why? Because she's going to have to be a lot more patient going deep rallies. Because I think, realistically, she's looking at the longevity of her career. She knows she cannot continue to play like this as she ages. She can't. There's no way. It takes too much stamina. She's been holding up players the last couple years because she's trying to catch her breath, right? We all know the rule book states the play of tennis is determined by the server, right? If you're on the defensive side and you're constantly just holding up your opponent, that's unfair and it's breaking the rules. And I think someone like Wim Fissette, he's going to get Iga Swiatek looking really technical. I don't know if he can necessarily change her forehand technique, but if we do see that, I think that's going to make her even more deadly, right? Her mental toughness has improved with her mental health coach, and I think overall that's probably the change she needed. When I was watching Iga Swiatek early on, what concerned me was how emotional she was. And the same with Osaka. You know, all of these ladies are emotional. They're young ladies. It's okay to be emotional. They're human beings. That's how you know they are, right? But I felt her mental development and how at one point she was out there crying after losses, to see her win these slams and go on this historic run, the most consecutive wins since the year 2000, since Venus Williams did it, and how she's destroying opponents, the Jordan fist pumps, the faces when she's hitting these rockets down the line, that to me has been the biggest improvement in her game. She's always had the athletic ability. After that foot injury in juniors, she came back and she worked hard, but this is where I got concerned, because someone like Coco, who has that natural athletic ability, that can last her into her late 20s, early 30s. But Iga Swiatek, after that foot injury, she worked hard to come back, and she thought, there were rumors that she might not even play again. She worked hard to come back, and that athletic ability, that footwork, that soccer, those foot drills, that Rafa Nadal, footwork drill at the net before her matches. It's intimidating for her players to see that, but she's worked towards that. That's not natural. And the fear that I have with Iga Swiatek is, as her career ages, you have to constantly work hard in the gym to maintain that. And Kobe Bryant said it best. He retired because he could not do the work in the gym anymore. And as Iga Swiatek starts to age, what does that mean? That means her stamina is going to decline, her footwork, her defense is going to decline. So what does she have to do? She brings on Wim Fissette, a very technical coach, that can now develop her for the long run, these long rallies, right? These different shot techniques that can help frustrate opponents with her already amazing ahead of the pack skills that she has now. So do you guys think it's a good move or not? Comment below. Overall, I do think it's a good move. With Wim's body of work, there's no way he's not going to help Iga Swiatek improve. The only concern I have is when coaches come on board, it's really their job to help do what their players do good and develop a game plan that suits them and help them get better based on their ability. Iga's ability and her skills now, it all revolves around winning short, rally, aggressive shots. Things are going to have to change, which means her game is going to have to change. So it's going to be a learning curve. So don't be surprised if she doesn't win a slam next year. Don't be surprised if she doesn't win 5 titles next year. But I do think in terms of Thomas, I think he probably deserved at least one more opportunity, to defend that WTA Finals championship in Saudi Arabia, where there's a $15 million pool of money up for grabs. I just feel that, I don't know, but again, that's why they have contracts, and just seeing the relationship. A lot of the Polish fans have come to the channel and they said it was rocky. I've seen them practice, and he's militant. He's very disciplined, and he said it himself. We are here to play tennis. We are not here to be tourists. And that type of style, I feel a lot of ladies do need. A lot of players need that discipline. And I just think it reached its boiling point with Iga Swiatek. But I do think they've kept it classy and professional. It's been a professional relationship. But what he's done with Iga Swiatek, 19 over 22 titles, 4 for 5 Grand Slams, an amazing win percentage, a ton of records. And it's made her into something that she really wasn't, to be honest with you. She was so emotional. And again, I felt the mental coaching has helped as well. But Thomas has made her into something she never was. She was very shy, quiet, very respectful. And not that she isn't now. She still is. Just very lovable, very sweet. And her and Osaka have been friends for a while. Very similar players. And I think now under Thomas, she's just become very aggressive and this I want to destroy you mentality, which is good. Wim is more laid back, so I'm anxious to see how she is on court with this relationship. Overall, look, I don't think it gets any better than Wim Fissette. It just doesn't, right? It just doesn't. Stefanos, he's probably the best coach out there right now, but there's a lot of allegations with Elena Rybakina. I don't really want to get into it. I don't know the details. When Elena's ready to come out, she'll discuss it, but there's a lot of stuff going on. Could even possibly be criminal. That scares me. But nonetheless, Iga Swiatek, is it a good move? Comment below. I do think Thomas is going to be picked up very quickly. He's a great coach, one of the best bodies of work in the recent years of WTA tennis. 4 Grand Slam titles with Iga Swiatek, a ton of championships, 19 titles overall with Iga Swiatek. He's a great coach. I like him. I respect him a lot. I love his mentality. He'll get a job soon. But comment below, guys. I'm anxious to hear what you think. Is this a good move or a bad move? Is this going to be long-term or short-term? Tennis in a minute. We'll be back.